Hello! Today we'll be making nice little broom decorations for your Harry Potter themed Christmas or other festive occasions. It's really quite nice even as a gift. As you can see, it will have quite a nice characteristic broom handle, and then also the twigs is just a very nice a very nice broom to put up on your tree. Anyway, okay, let's see what we need for this. So first of all, I've been collecting a few small sticks. Most of these are actually not even sticks, they're the stems of big leaves, which suited me quite well because you can see you have almost like a natural broom handle here, which is quite nice, so you don't have to, the break-off points don't look that nice. Those are going to be covered anyway on one end, but the broom handle, it's quite nice to have it a bit thicker and look a bit like a handle, basically. So this is a stick, this isn't a leaf stem, but it also looked quite good. Some of these can be bigger or smaller, it's really up to you which size you want to make them. Let me just pick one of these. I think I'm going to go with this. This looks quite good. I'm going to put the other sticks aside. And now I want to see, let's see the other materials first. So we have a bit of thread here that we're going to use later to attach the twigs to the broom. And then we have some string that will resemble the branches of the broom. You can really, I've chosen this because it does have a sort of brown beige color and it does resemble the twigs a bit. You could just as well use, I don't know, if you don't have this like yellow orange thread or maybe even straw or something else you think might work. Yeah, wool. Anything of any color you think might work is really not, as long as it sort of looks like a natural color, I think it will work best. Okay, so yeah, we're going to be making the twigs out of this, and then I just have a little bit of fabric, so we can make a little ribbon out of that, but that's really not necessary. I mean, let's just see how we get on. Now, for the length of this, scissors we have as well. We're going to be needing them to cut off a bit of this. So basically, you'll need to remember that some of this will be covered by the twigs because they need to, we need to tie them onto the stick, so it can't be too short. But in general, I think this is a bit too long, so I think the twigs will start here or thereabouts. So I'm just gonna cut off this bit. Okay, and now we can start making our twigs. So this will be a broom handle. Then let's see. Okay, so the length, there is no correct or wrong measurement, you can just see. So we're going to tie them around the stick around here, and I want it to be a bit longer obviously, so let's say we're going to make it this long, the string. I think that seems alright. And now to just make it a bit faster, I'm just gonna measure the rest of the string up to that, just creating some loops. I'm gonna show you in a second how to cut through that. So you can already see or sort of guess at the volume that this is going to create. Let's just see. Okay, this looks good already. Let's cut this first, then see how it looks. I think we'll be needing a bit more. Okay, so let me cut off the end here. There we go. So now you have all these loops, and now all you have to do is go through them with your scissors and cut. So you see we have a nice bunch of string here. Then we do that with the others. I missed a few. There we go. They don't have to be super aligned. It's fine to look a bit rough. That's what makes this bit so charming. And then you can already see, and you can give this broom a little bit of a haircut later, so don't worry too much about the length yet. You can already see that we're going to attach it here to the broom. We're going to tie something around this in a bit, but I feel like it's still a bit thin. I feel like we still need a bit more thread, so I'm just going to measure this. Okay, just so we get just about the right length. Then now we're just going to do the same thing again, make a few loops to cut through them. I just really love these little ornaments. because they'll be free floating basically. They'll be hanging from your tree and moving a bit whenever there's a movement going on. It just makes them look like enchanted brooms hanging from your tree, which is quite nice. Okay, let's cut through these. Okay, this should probably be enough to get going with. One more loop. Boop. Okay. Let's see. So we've got a good bunch here. That looks great.
Looking good.
Looking good. Now let's just see. At the top, it's a bit more important to have them aligned just so it doesn't look too higgledy-piggledy. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just a little bit of alignment here. That looks good. Now you can sort of almost stick the broom handle in. Make sure you don't push down any of the thread. There we go. And now, oh, 1 second, I slipped. That's cool, saved it. Okay, let's just look at this from all angles. Yeah, that's fine, you can't see the stick anymore. Now we need a bit of yarn. Whoops, a bit of thread to tie around this. We're gonna use this because it's still gonna put a bit of an accent around it. You can see we're gonna wrap this around several times, like this. Okay, let me cut that off. Alright, and now I'm gonna ask Amanda to help me because it's much easier. You can probably also do it alone if you're good at these things, but I'm not. So it's much easier to do it with 2 people. So I've wrapped it around a couple of times and Amanda's just now gonna do a simple knot around it. And then that should hold the twigs quite well to the stick.
One more
because
time.
Yep, they do not have a lot of weight.
You can see I pulled it just quite tightly just to make sure that none of the ones on the inside also come loose. Very good.
Great. Now look at this. That looks great already. Let's cut off the leftover thread. See, just a bit here and a bit here. That's good. So this is looking great already. Now we're just gonna give this little broom a bit of a haircut because it's looking kind of roughed up. And so usually they have a bit of a shape that goes together at the bottom. So we want it have a bit more volume basically in the middle and then go down to a point. Well, not point, but as close as we can get it. So on the edges, I'm just going to cut the thread shorter. So, I mean, we obviously know most of us are not hairdressers, so we're just going to do it played by ear.
Broom dresses.
Broom dressers, exactly. I wonder whether that's the job. That might actually be... They actually do learn how to trim the twigs and stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
That is definitely... And now you will realize, like a real Hogwarts student, that this is a skill that you need to have in your repertoire. Now you see this is looking better already. You can always smooth it down a bit with your fingers. Just check it out. A bit more, I think. They were quite long to begin with. Twigs. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this looks good. Little bit more. I'll try not to cut it too short and then regret it, because obviously it's a lot harder to make them longer again. Okay. Yeah, I quite like it. Looks a bit rough, but it's kind of beautiful as well. Right, let me put all of these to the side. And now I'm gonna attach the little ribbon to it. I mean, you can attach it anywhere really, up here or here. But I'm just gonna put it around the handle, just above the twigs. So you don't have to do this. If you want just to leave it natural, that's fine as well. There's a lot of different things you can attach to it. Oh, let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna put it around here. See, this is always the part that's a bit fiddly and kind of hard. Just going to try and give this a nice and straight bow. Not gonna be easy, not easy. Okay. I almost have it. Almost have it. Okay, so at least I pulled it through now. It will take some adjusting, but anyway, this is just a suggestion of what else you can do with it. Just gonna cut off some of this. Boop. Okay, doesn't look bad. I just need to cut off the various threads coming out of here. That's good. There's another one. I mean, if you use actual ribbons instead of thread, instead of the fabric that I just used, then you won't have this problem. It's just my fault for using materials that are not supposed to be used. Aha! So there we go. This looks quite nice. So is this not actually lovely? It's a cute little broom. And now we're just gonna attach, so we can either use something like the twig string, but I think because we've used this already, this would just sort of clash. What I'm going to use is this, because I want the thread to be kind of invisible in front of the pine branches, because I think it's kind of nice because then the broom looks like it's floating. So we're just going to do the same thing, cut off some thread. Whoop. Then I'm going to attach it sort of between the ribbon and the twigs. So it's going to be a simple knot again, double knot, just to be safe. All right. Now this broom doesn't weigh very much, so you don't have to be scared of anything ripping. Let's see. I'm just going to put another double knot up here. There we go. Okay, I'll cut off the leftover string. And now you can see that our ornament is done. And it's looking rather nice. I hope you enjoyed this, and check out our other Harry Potter decorations that we're doing for this holiday season. And yeah, they're all pretty sparkly and nice.
Have fun creating.
Bye!
Bye.